Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? We're back again with your Casper crypto live stream. And right now we've got a lot of very interesting developments for today. We've seen a lot of massive TradFi institutions, a lot of big banks starting to ape more and more into crypto, offering crypto services and stablecoin developments as well, all of that, which is very important. And then Casper as a unique individual project, we've got some interesting updates today as well, stuff that's going to be coming out very soon, and also some other stuff that I wanted to highlight as well, clearing up some uncertainty in the space as always. But either way, right now looking very good. Right now Bitcoin is currently up 0.21% on the daily time frame, just short of 120k. Provided we hold about 116k with Bitcoin, I think it's a very good sign, and therefore confirmation that we'll be seeing this continual uptrend. Ethereum is now regained all of what it lost yesterday, coming back to 3.7k, which is very nice. XRP is making a bit of a rally back up again. Casper is still struggling today, currently down 3.42% on the daily time frame. However, once more, remember what we've been saying the past few days. Again, the video that we uploaded 2 days ago, talking about how what we need to see is for Casper to hold this level. We said 11 cents. Of course, it lost it yesterday because of the whole news that happened. And I said after 11 cents, of course, it can go up and it can still come back down to 9, but ideally it should hold 10 cents. And while we did see Casper momentarily drop below, if it can finish today and hold 10 cents, that will be a really good sign. And again, maybe an indicator that Casper may be able to hold 10 cents and make that recovery in the coming days and weeks, going back up to try and surpass this high here, and then even the high at 30 cents earlier on as well. We'll get into the TA element though later on. We've got to cover all of the other massive announcements. Equally, Wallet 2 apparently been very active again once more, but this time around actually selling Casper, which is a very rare occurrence for Wallet 2. We'll get into this post again in a moment on this news as always. Before we do, if you enjoy the stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And let's get into the pleasantries first and foremost. Buffalo, bro, welcome back to the stream. Yo, my man, hope you're doing very well today. Wing Hong, bro, welcome back. Second to you too. We moon yet soon enough, I'm sure. Dimitar, bro, welcome back once again, bro. Thank you very much for being here. And you too, Crypto Gosu, what's up, my man? Lau, welcome back again, bro. LB on the check-in again. What's good, my man? Hope you had a great day so far, and welcome back everyone else who's watching and lurking in right now as well. So let's get into the content first of all. I want to say also a thank you, as once again it looks like yours truly has managed to rise the rankings into the top voices of the Casper community, which is always a blessing. Couldn't do about you guys being here, so thank you very much for once more showing your support for what it is that we do here as a community. So that is great to see. Hopefully we'll continue rising the ranks, maybe even contending with the likes of Vijay at some point. That would be a spectacle to say the least. But yeah, it's great to see once more me being here again, and it's just again a testament to what we're all doing here. So thank you once more everyone being here. And then I also want to quickly and swiftly move on to this post here, which I think is going to set the tone for the rest of this stream really. Fanti here, 3D Rudy, very well renowned account, very big account here. It might be very well renowned in the Casper community. I mean, I'm very aware of who it is. Just taking a clip from Michael Saylor here, where it says Bitcoin is competing as a store of value. Saylor knows about Bitcoin, or knows about Casper even, and he's carefully starting to shape a new narrative to include Casper in their portfolio. So, and that's just, again, it's speculative from 3D Rudy here, but it is understandable where he's coming from, because Michael Saylor originally was been talking about Bitcoin being the future of payments, and now he's saying Bitcoin's competing as a store of value. He's shifting his narrative a little bit of Bitcoin. Ludwig agrees here. I think several big names are starting to shape the narrative, unless we are all delusional. And then Paul Van Son here ends up coming in and kind of just laying down the whole premise right now, saying that the best narratives are those based in tangible achievements. Thus, for Casper, just a matter of time and hard work by developers and those that pave the routes to market. Ultimately, hard for top connoisseurs like Michael Saylor and Elon Musk to ignore the virtues of Casper, not in the sense of making Bitcoin obsolete, but rather as the next generation of multi-purpose, fast, secure, decentralized, scalable cryptos without frontiers. Casper is not just another crypto, altcoin, token, or S-coin. It is the purest, most sophisticated, practical and robust implementation of Satoshi Nakamoto's vision that is available in the market. And that is, again, crystal clear, very much the truth of the matter. And this, for me, this particular paragraph, I think is what's ultimately very important. Again, Paul Van Santaman has got a lot of deep connections himself, very well connected, and he is ultimately highlighting here that people like Michael Saylor and Elon Musk and these other big connoisseurs and billionaires and whatnot, they can't just ignore Kaspa. They may not know of it right now, but they won't be able to ignore it in the future because of what it's building, how innovative it is, and how it's not there to necessarily make Bitcoin obsolete or replace Bitcoin, but there to offer the next generation of payments. How you've got crypto compared to fiat, Kaspa is that compared to crypto. It's the next level up, and that will come to fruition very, very soon. The KRI, of course, are cooking right now with so much more coming to the space, releasing the again, we just made a video on it again a day or two ago, covering everything. I've even started posting some of the shorts from that, so you want to have short form content of it. There's some shorts from this video as well, which cover some of the big key parts from it as well, and the KRI, what they're covering coming to Kaspa this year and leading on from the future as well. So this is, again, what we think is very, very cool. Now we have next post here, which also is in the title here, massive Kaspa spike today. We apparently have seen active addresses spike massively today. Kaspa active addresses spiking today to unprecedented levels. Could this be related to smart contracts? It wouldn't be out of the question, because IGRA Labs, their testnet is now live on the testnet, or at least its activation. So the Genesis activation is taking place right now. It will be going towards the testers in the next few days and then be public. So maybe these addresses being tested right now, it could try and prepare for it. Or perhaps an exchange testing a bunch of new user wallets. We did just see massive outflows here from Wallet 2. So we look into Wallet 2 right now, do a bit of a deep dive. We can see we saw almost 5 million Kaspa outflows. We saw 201 million Kaspa outflows plus 24.4 million, and then we saw inflows as well. So we saw it go back and forth, but ultimately it ends up being a total amount of outflows. So if we check the transactions in question, we can see the history and so much. We're able to see exactly who was sending what. Well, actually, we can say that right now. We don't actually see the addresses in question. Like this one said, previously, like take out from gate, in from gate. These addresses aren't, named here. We don't know who the addresses are and who the wallets aren't in general. So we've seen outflows from Wallet 2 again. Interesting. This is probably the second time I think we've seen outflows from Wallet 2. If we check out the address for on Kaspalytics, as I'm loading it up right now, we can see that this particular wallet has had this situation back here in May. We saw some outflows. Otherwise, then the whole time it's been just buying and buying and buying. We saw a little dip in May where it sold some, and it's been buying again. And now, for the second time ever, Wallet 2 has seen some outflows. So maybe again, also highlighting that this wallet didn't sell to any known exchange wallets, to our knowledge here. So again, maybe there's a thesis behind this that actually makes sense, that they are just testing a bunch of new user wallet addresses, get rid of some big outflows for Kaspa. It could be IGRA, it could be Kaspax testing, it could be Wallet 2. I think all are particularly very, very possible. And if that's the case, then that's a good indicator therefore of what is about to come. Because if Wallet 2 is testing other wallets and therefore indicating maybe an exchange, which we do still to believe it could be Binance, then we can see a listing very, very soon. It's got $83 million worth of Kaspa, 124 million Kaspa. It's absolutely insane stuff. We can see again just depicting these sort of transactions. This is again 204 million Kaspa, equivalent to $20.6 million, and it cost 0.00003 Kaspa and took 0.68 seconds. Again, that's the speed of Kaspa right now. It's unrivaled. You've seen the sort of capital going in and out, and that's insane. The speed of Kaspa is unprecedented right now. So again, I think this is a good sign. I'm not too much worried about the outflows right now because they're still holding so much. Might be taking some more profits because again, they've been buying continuously since March 2024. So they're buying at the peaks and also at the dips as well. So maybe taking some profits and then they might be getting ready for relisting. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But this for me is they're still, I'm not worried about them. I think it's quite a reassuring sign. You might see some investors therefore a bit worried today, hence why the market might be down for Kaspa today right now, because we don't see outflows from Wallet 2 very often. But I do think, again, it's just temporary. We'll see Kaspa make a recovery very, very soon, because there's so much more coming out as well. Other reasons for why I think Kaspa's going to do very, very well. This is not so much a big catalyst here, but apparently there's going to be the much anticipated Kaspa versus Bitcoin debate taking place tomorrow, which you can see, of course, the face being VJ there, and that's also Kaspa Silver there as well, I believe. So that's what I know. Tell a lie, it's not VJ. I probably just completely wrong. That's Rajet, and so I'll be moderating a thoughtful exchange between Rajet and Kaspa Silver. Don't know why I didn't read that. Hey ho. But it's going to be happening tomorrow. Now, I would personally say I prefer if it wasn't a case of Bitcoin versus Kaspa, because I don't want to see it as we're competing but trying to work together. But having Rajet actually partake in a space, I'm hoping it won't be like the last Bitcoin space, which was just complete waffle and ignorance. Hopefully there's actually some open-mindedness from some Bitcoin maxis attending, who are actually going to take in what Kaspa Silver's saying here, because I think Kaspa Silver's got a very good understanding of Kaspa and Bitcoin as a whole, actually, and can give a very good breakdown of exactly what's happening right now. So we'll be hearing this tomorrow, so I'll be tuning into that, looking forward to that as well. And then actually, just again, before I get some questions real quickly, this I thought was actually huge news. We finally got the announcement here from Octaspace. From Octa, they have now just bought the octaspace.cas domain name. That's huge. That is a very, very big deal, and there's reasons for that why. This might just seem like Octaspace has just bought a KNS domain, Kaspa name, but it's actually, for me, a lot bigger than we realize, because it also, it could indicate potential partnerships or collaborations between Octaspace and Kaspa, because the purchase of a KNS domain does tend to signify a strategic move. Maybe it means that Octa are going to build on Kaspa very, very soon. There's a possibility of that as well. It means, again, integration of Kaspa technologies into Octaspace's services. So Octa could be looking to leverage Kaspa's high transaction speed and scalability for certain aspects in its own decentralized cloud platform. It might also mean that you could enable Kaspa payment as a payment method for their services. Octaspace doing this also is an indication that they believe in Kaspa's longevity. They wouldn't buy a KNS name if they didn't think it's going to do very well in the long term, as a good foundation as a foundational layer 1. And you can see therefore many, many more things coming out as well. So it's actually, for me, again, just glossing over this probably. I'm not trying to hype it up too much, although I very well could. But it is a very big deal. It's not necessarily a collaboration or confirmation of such, but it's a big deal that Octa have bought KNS domain, and an indicator of what is likely and potentially can happen in the future as a result of this as well. Just more collaboration, partnerships, utilizing Kaspa, and both spaces therefore growing in a very, very bullish and decentralized manner. Wars coming to Kaspa. We've got more updates as well to get into this stream as well. Before I do though, let's get into some of the questions first and foremost once again. Welcome back again, Just the Next Crypto, bro. Welcome back to the stream. I'm doing very, very well. Still in my long. Love to hear that, bro. Hopefully the market's reverse and that starts filling up once again. And welcome back, Wyatt, as well, bro. Yo, get in here. Welcome back, my man. Who's doing very, very well. Andy A, what do you think about a website that pays you in Kaspa for taking surveys and testing different games and doing all other small tasks? I mean, it sounds like an interesting idea. I think at the stage with Kaspa right now, everything and anything is good. In terms of how good it would be longevity-wise, I mean, there are people out there who do like, taking service and whatnot to get given, stuff for free, effectively, giving Kaspa whatever it may be, giving, money for whatever it may be. Or again, like play-to-earn elements. You're playing a game, and if you play it for enough time, you receive some money. People do that already. It's not, I think, that mainstream, but people still do that. But in this current stage with Kaspa, or as a project where it's still very, very early, I think any and all ideas is good. I think everything is still a good thing to do. You want to get as much building on there as possible to give us so many options to where people come join in and they can just have access to pretty much a whole infinite world inside Kaspa, Welcome back, Kryptoni, bro. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back, man. Who's doing very, very well. And you too, Falco, bro. Welcome back to the stream, my man. Who's doing very, very well as well. Another day sweeping up these D-works, these dwarks. Yeah, I know what you mean. another dip, another opportunity to buy right now. Again, Caspa right now is still holding strong above 10 cents right now, which is a good indicator. So I'm hoping that Caspa will make that confirmed support. That 10 cents has been historically a very strong level of support for Caspa, so we can hold here when the market does recover, which I think is potentially on the horizon. Before we get again, tariff concerns are still looming, to be very careful of that. But if we get some confirmation of more, breakout momentum, then Caspa will then start picking that push above this top here of around 11.8 cents or so, and then push above 13 cents, going towards 15 hopefully in the coming weeks. Can Caspa fully replace Bitcoin? In theory, yes, because it is, kind of the exact replica of Bitcoin with a block DAG architecture. It could do everything Bitcoin could do with the medium of exchange element, so it actually can be scalable. So in theory, yes. Will it actually? No one knows for sure. I know Crypto totally believes so, and I know. I mean, I've watched the Caspa Chaos Theory endgame video from Plan K as well. So I'm not saying that I don't believe that either. I do think there's definitely a possibility that Caspa can replace money and Bitcoin as a whole, but that's a very, very distant future for me. I think the first course of action is Caspa to establish itself first off, surpassing and becoming more superior to the other proof of stakes that are basically just scams for the most of them, and then it can start looking to become a more attractive element of store of value and starting to compete with Bitcoin in that regard as well. If Caspa, again, as Tom Polinsky stated, if Caspa can manage to retain itself and prove itself as a store of value alongside everything else, then it would do a very, very well become top 5. And technically speaking, right now you are seeing Caspa kind of already being utilized as a store of value element. There's a lot of inactive wallets right now. So you go here, you check out the inactive supply on the 3 month. You're seeing a bit more activity in the 3 months right now, but it's still quite high. 6 months, still near all-time highs. 1 year near all-time highs. 2 years is still rallying. 3 is still rallying. So you're seeing the inactive supply for the long-term holders. People are still using it as a store of value, so therefore, if it can compete with that regard to Bitcoin, then yes. Yeah, could it? Yes. Will it? No. I mean, again, could it? Yes. Will it? Who knows? Most likely not. But again, who knows? Because if miners, if Bitcoin becomes completely obsolete because the price is not rallying in regards to, the miners not making enough money from it, then of course Bitcoin will just fall off. If there's a lot more money to be made in other ecosystems, whether it be, through Caspa, for example, why would you mine Bitcoin unless you're being stubborn? Like, there's no reason to do that otherwise. Bitcoin might now still, to my knowledge at least, mining Bitcoin is still beneficial. It's still profitable. Especially if Bitcoin keeps appreciating in value, then it's profitable. But if Bitcoin stops and it becomes harder and harder to mine it, and the price doesn't keep up with it, then it will fall off. There's a post actually that I was going to get into a little bit later on, but I'll do it even now. Son of Tech highlights here: I'm a miner. I don't accept any one project. ASICs centralized around the manufacturers primarily. This results in concentration of supply. Caspa's biggest problem, though, is running out of emissions early. By 2027, Caspa will need to be worth $100 to keep miners incentivized. Since they centralize their mining, it means that the large entities will stop manufacturing and just turn off, resulting in a reduction of hash power and therefore security. And it goes on so on and so forth here. But this is where, he's a miner, so maybe he knows more than I do. But from my understanding as well, I think he's slightly missing the point here as well. This had been the case, but a lot of these other projects don't have actual use case properties. Bitcoin being the biggest crypto, the one that most people tend to mine, it hasn't got any use case. And the other ones that are lower than it, people tend to mine it just to flip a quick profit, to my knowledge. Again, I'm not a miner, so I may be completely wrong here. But when I was asked, again, that's what BJ said here, by 2027, Caspa will need to be worth $100 to keep miners incentivized. Yes, but also no. And I shout out to Jim Cass here again. I said, my response to this was just miners can mine also the transaction fees in the Caspa blocks. So Caspa reaching $100 would be a big and important element to it. Yes, it would definitely incentivize miners. But is that happening in 2 years? Probably not, truth be told. But the thing is, if, and in my belief when, the smart contracts are launched and the ecosystem and adoption start flowing through very, very quickly with institutional adoption, with the KRI as well, KRI will be utilizing Caspa as well. So you're going to have a $1 trillion market, multiple billion trillion dollar market also starting to utilize Kaspa therefore as well, that will bring more, stuff to Kaspa therefore as a result of it. So in regards to on the ecosystem, on the layer 1.5, layer 2s, if the miners can mine, these ecosystems and they get the transaction from the blocks, then Kaspa does not need to reach $100. If you're making more frequent income, as long as the adoption, so it does require therefore smart contracts and adoption to really, really take off as well. So I think it's a weird one. And equally also, it looks like 2miners.com apparently aren't being completely honest either. They're showing 535 pair hash per second right now, but actually, if you go on to Kaspa is showing a hell of a lot more. They're showing 800 or 704 right now. But even though you saw this post here earlier, it was 835. Even so, you can see right now, 701. If I load up 2miners right now, you can see 2miners is at 449. It's significantly low, so it looks like they're missing some domains, whatever it may be. They're missing something right now. That's why. I mean, it'll still be kind of going down, and I understand that's why. But it's not showing the actual full truth right now, which is a lot higher than it is right now by, 200 petahash per second, which is insane. So to circle wall, but all the way back into whether Bitcoin will be profitable or not, or will Kaspa flip Bitcoin, we'll have to wait and see ultimately. I'll have to wait and see. I think, again, smart contract will be a very, very big thing. The fact that we saw this sort of massive pump actually on the day of smart contract announcements from Igro and Kaspex, it does make me think. I always thought, again, and I still do believe for the most part, that it's not necessarily a price pumper event, because it's just smart contract, the foundation block. But if you saw that on an announcement of a confirmation date, it's a good possibility that leading up to August 31st, ahead of smart contract for Kaspex, you might see a buy the rumor type thing. People are very excited for it. So you can see it rally up a lot higher, go towards the end of August, and Igro Labs with their testnet and seeing how it's functioning as well. Actually, we've got some updates about that as well. So QX, who recently just partnered with Igro Labs as of yesterday or something like that, they are partnered with Kaspa.com as well to bring verifiable off-chain data to their new lending and borrowing protocol. We can see that right here, a video of it, where you can see if the quality is any better, please. Okay, well, that's good enough there. But you can see, they're doing some test stuff on Kaspa right now. You've got USDC, USDT stuff on there. So it looks like, again, smart contracts, or not smart contracts, stablecoins, don't seem to be that far off. I mean, again, it's just a test, but don't seem to be that far off either, which is very, very cool, very interesting. So, Kaspa.com, DeFi, lending and borrowing protocol, learn to earn interest and borrow tokens to access liquidity without selling assets in partnership with QX Tech to deliver secure, verifiable off-chain data. This is, again, really, really big stuff, very game-changing. More stuff therefore coming to Kaspa. The ecosystem starting to grow more and more. And that's, I mean, I think Zealous are also doing some good things as well. Again, I'm not use Zealous, but I do use Kaspa.com. This might be something I therefore partaking as well potentially. But again, this is what we're seeing, the developments continue to grow for Kaspa. And this sort of stuff will incentivize people to start staying on Kaspa's ecosystem, building more of it, whether it be Igro or Kaspex or the native when they come out. And that, all the stuff takes place here, the miners will mine this stuff. They'll mine the transactions taking place, the gas fees, and receive rewards from that as well, alongside Kaspa as well. But Kaspa was there to kind of help the aggressive emission schedules. The aggressive emission schedules of Kaspa was to help it build and rally quicker. But at the same time, it does kind of, I guess, put a bit more time constraint on it. But if Kaspa can get these smart contracts out, which I think they will do, and you get that adoption coming through there, the miners are mining not for Kaspa, they're mining for the transaction gas fee for the block, which gives them Kaspa, but they're not mining it to get. The miners aren't necessarily mining or won't mine in the future for this. They won't mine it for that. They're mining for transactions. That's my 2 cents on that. We have some other updates, I believe, here as well, mainly regarding the fundamentals and stuff as well. Before I do it again, let's get into some of the questions again, first and foremost. Rajat is going to get owned. I mean, Rajat may get owned. I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of the posts from Rajat recently, and it has been it's been, yeah. That's what I'm just gonna put it. It's been, yeah. Like, he's a very notable face around the Bitcoin space, very well renowned. He's like, if you're a Bitcoiner who fell for an S coin, it just means you don't understand Bitcoin as well as you think you do. He's been continuously debating and, you know, firing back at Kaspa holders recently, calling it an S coin as well. But you know, some of the posts he makes as well is just, again, it just makes sense to me. Because there's a lot of posts that have been coming out recently about, if I go on my page, I think I reposted some of them, where he's like talking about you don't want to use Bitcoin for transaction fees, just use Visa. I'm like, what, your whole point of using Bitcoin is meant to be as another form of money, like, you know, actually transactional money, not as a holding. I don't know whether I reposted it either. But yeah, it's a post from Rajet where he was talking about how you don't want to use, like saying, oh, use Bitcoin. Like, well, Bitcoin's not scalable enough. Okay, we'll use Visa. But Bitcoin's meant to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash. But now all Bitcoin is to store value. No one actually wants to use Bitcoin for payments. It doesn't work properly. So I am intrigued to see what we've spoken about tomorrow. I mean, Rajet is someone who evidently is very much maximalist, and his mind will be very, very tough to sway, if even possible. I don't even think it is, to be honest. But we'll see. A couple of people outsourcing their ability to think to a small group of developers. I mean, yeah, he's been very much on the Kaspa community recently as well, which is what it is, right? The mask is slipping. They're really just S-coiners. Kaspa's not here to help or fix Bitcoin. It's here to absorb its value. I mean, some people believe that. I believe it is kind of there to help. But again, people have their different opinions on it right now. That may change in the future right now. I do want to... I'm going to tune in. I'm going to tune in as well to see and hear what's spoken about. I'll watch it on playback as well, just to hear about what's happening. And see, yeah, hopefully Rajet... At least I just want him to be open-minded. That's all I really care about. He has the convictions, you know, and that's all good, well and good. But if the convictions lack logic, then I struggle debating and talking to certain people in my real life when they are refused to be open-minded. Because you could literally lay it out for them, you know, step by step. But if it doesn't align with their views, they'll just deny it anyways. And I think right now Rajet's very much like that. So I think, while it could be a good thing, this debate, I don't know how beneficial it's going to be. What will be beneficial about it is it will make more Bitcoin maximalists aware of Kaspa, and some of them who are not just straight up ignorant and, you know, want to die on their hill, will be open-minded to actually think, okay, that's actually true about Kaspa. Let me look into it a little bit, and you'll see more and more people like Vijay who starts coming over bit by bit, which would be, again, a great thing for Kaspa's price in the short term and equally the long term as well. More Bitcoin maxis cycle into Kaspa. I think this would be great to listen to. More focus on less people. Yeah, I think if it's just Kaspa Silver versus Rajet, then I think it'd be better, because they won't be so overloaded by just ignorance. I mean, it probably will be, but it'll still be, you know, one of them ones. Welcome, Zoro. Hope you're doing very, very well. Kaspa Rov, welcome back, my manager, doing very, very well. Where can we buy caster names again? I think you could just type it in, no? I mean, the one I got gifted to me. Respect to Lau once again for that. I think you just type. You go onto the mainnet. You can. You have to have like a Kaspa wallet as well. You got to go to the official KNS website, and then you can just search for a desired name. KNS domain. I believe it's this one here. Just checking. Yeah, so I'm 90% sure. You go to KNS domains.org. I believe it's this one here, and then you can search for a name. And then you can buy it on here as well, I'm pretty sure as well. I mean, again, I may be wrong about that. I've not bought one myself. I do plan to buy my own one in the future. But the one I do have, shout out again to Larry, is gifted to me. People who do know, by all means, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section, or leave it in the chat right now and help a brother out, please. Christian Ludwig, I think mine's both Octa and Kaspa. I believe he put that together. I mean, wouldn't surprise me. And then, you know, big up for Ludwig, and he's a businessman. He's doing a good job, therefore. I think it'll be a big thing as well. Very, very big thing. Again, Okay, that's the name's I think it's a very big deal. Good evening, Don. Hope you're doing very well, bro. Welcome back to the stream. Where's Miles? Miles is right here. First, indeed. Don't be jealous of this talent. Yeah, absolutely insane. Could it? Yes. Will it? Absolutely, yeah. I know Crypto20 very much believes that Kaspa will flip Bitcoin. And again, I'm not saying it's impossible. It'll be a tall task. It might take a very long time, but it is possible. It has a better monetary system. You know, again, I agree. Very interested in wallets 9. Looks like they're buying from Kraken smaller wallets. Could be a US exchange, as Kraken's main wallet is likely 5. Let's have a quick look at that as well. So yes, wallet 5 allegedly believed to be Kraken's. That's currently seen 53.5 million Kaspa inflows, which is impressive. That's a lot from Kraken's wallet. We can see, yeah, so it most likely is Kraken wallet. So you're probably right in that regard, seeing that, you know, in and out from Kraken wallet here. And just again to take a little peek behind the curtains, we can see again the sort of transactions. Just want to highlight once more the superiority of Kaspa. 1 second, 0.001 Kaspa, $6.5 million worth. Insane. And then you have wallet 9. If you scroll back down again, you're seeing 2.5 mil inflows today, which does seem to be also from Kraken's wallet as well. That's very interesting again. So yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on it. Seeing these inflows coming in and out again, it could therefore potentially be an exchange stacking up. Because if that's the case, let's just say wallet 5 is Kraken's therefore. Wallet 5 has roughly 373 million Kaspa. Wallet 9 has 200 million. So if it isn't on the US exchange, let's just say crypto.com, they'll probably have to scoop a little bit more up. Probably maybe 400, and then it might be ready to this Kaspa. But let's wait and see. What was the market capitalization of US dollar for medium exchange compared to Bitcoin and gold? It's a good question. I'm hoping you're going to answer that for me, because I can't pick a number out of my head. I mean, the market cap for the dollar as a medium exchange. I mean, the dollar's, you know, utilized all over the place, you know. But again, it can be printed out of thin air. It's just got to keep on diminishing in value, deflationary. Not dollarization, you know, diminishing in value. But Bitcoin I think that's the one. Again, maybe the question confused me a little bit. Not sure why. So it's fighting again. Time for a leg up. That hash rate is wrong. As is maths. I mean, yeah. Son of all tech fighting again. I mean, the hash rate definitely is wrong here. We can see that much. You know, it's definitely wrong. But again, I think he's a miner, and I don't want to by any means try to sound like I don't want to, you know, I do try to steer a bit clear from trying to educate hash rate stuff when it comes to talking to the miners, because in my perspective they'll know more most likely because they actively mine it. But the way I perceive it is most miners are mining for the currency or the token in question, which is even the case of Kaspa right now. But these other proof of works don't have an ecosystem or any use case, so therefore they're only mining for the tokens. But Kaspa's going to release smart contract have an ecosystem behind it, so you're not just mining for the Kaspa tokens, you're mining for the transactions in the blocks as well. Was Jealous Swap allow me to swap my tokens I minted to something like Nacho? I think you meant Zealous Swap. And I'm sure they will be introducing swap features in the future. Haven't done so already. No, not at all, Wing Hong. Not at all. If anything, that's probably one of the best gifts you can give him, I'd argue. I wonder why it's deviating in hash rates. I think the website's just buggy, or some like institution or company that mine Kaspa has just gone offline on their platform or something like that. I don't exactly know. It's a weird deviation. I can't explain it either. I'm very aware of people on Kaspa for a very, very long time. I know he's very bitter on it. But it's just, I mean, again, that for me is an opinionated point, and while it's got some facts behind it, is again skewed by a lack of understanding of the fact that transactions will also give incentive for miners to mine Kaspa as well. Welcome back, Greg, bro. You did very, very well, man. Welcome back to the stream. And yes, Ghost always says, if you join the stream, leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more. NMM always with the best Kaspa Alpha. I mean, not so much Alpha today, but I appreciate very much again for the sentiment. What's going on in space right now? Thank you very much, man. I've noticed a lot of criticism. I've noticed a lot of the criticism some Bitcoin maxis used against Casper. Ignore the fact that those same criticisms apply to early Bitcoin. They lack self-awareness. I mean, a lot of these Bitcoin maxis aren't even early Bitcoin maxis. They got in the last cycle. A lot of the Bitcoin maxis are not here since 2012 or 08. They've been here since 2020, and they're just following the bandwagon. I think old gen people who are like proper old gen Bitcoin, for the most part, they've actually, I guess, more aware, I guess. I think is the word I'm trying to use. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's ignorance at the very best. Well, Bitcoin maxis probably don't need to enter Casper. Yeah, that's also true. If you got Bitcoin extremely early, then you don't really need to go to anything else, because you could just sit on Bitcoin the rest of your life. That's fine. But again, I think there's nothing wrong with getting extra capital, and Casper, I think, is one of the best places in this space personally. I invested a lot of Casper in minting new tokens because it was addictive. Can anyone let me know if Zealous would allow you to change some of it on Main Street or mainnet? I'm not particularly sure. I do think Zealous have introduced some form of swap elements, or they're going to. If not Zealous, I'm sure Casper.com will at some point in the future as well. It's quite a big feature for DEXs to have swap features, so I'm sure they'll implement something like that in the future if possible. But right now, I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. Consider this: there have only been a very select few projects like Bitcoin maxis consider a threat, limited to Ethereum, XRP, and now Casper. And Casper isn't nearly as big as the other layer twos, or the other two. I mean, yeah, true. And Bitcoin maxis have come to the terms that Ethereum's not a threat now, and XRP. XRP is a weird one because some of them still, but most of them say XRP is not a threat, but they can't deny XRP's, presence in the government and policies and stuff like that is significant enough to give them maybe a cause for concern. But it doesn't mean that I think XRP is going to flip Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin maxis have always Bitcoin maxis don't talk about Litecoin, never. They don't talk about Chainlink ever, or Cardano. They don't talk about they only talk about Ethereum, XRP, and Casper now. So yeah. Casper at either of the market caps would make everyone extremely happy. Oh yeah, if Casper went to a 200 billion like XRP or a 500 billion like Ethereum, we'd be dancing right now. We're at 2 billion right now. Either 100x, so $10, or a 250x. Yes, that's the right maths, I think. Which would be, again, $25. It'd be absolutely insane. Durable goods later tomorrow. Yes, be very, very interesting to see. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Welcome back, Hash Chamber. You're doing very, very well. Cheers. All Casper for the future. Endgame active 100%. The future is bright and it's looking very, very close. I'm officially out of my funk. Hope everyone enjoyed their break from me because I'm back with a vengeance. The world will know my name. Well, that's great to hear, Mr. Mars. Good to have you back in full force, and God help us all. God help us all. Isn't the M2 money supply considered the markup of USD? M2 money supply is the indicator of the amount of money in the global economy. This is the M2 money supply with regards to the dollar, I believe, the US dollar. But this here this M2 money supply is an indicator of how much money is in the global economy. So it's not. I mean, I think it'll be denominated in dollars. And you can see right now it does go up to, it says big contribution 150k give or take at some point. If that again answers the question. I'll be honest, again disclosure, I apologise. I'm on 2 hours sleep right now. I had to pick up my parents early in the morning at the airport and I've not had a chance to have a nap yet, so I am trying my best to keep it up and not sound like I'm crashing right now, but I am. Anyway, that being said, let's get into a bit more of the content before we get into more of the questions right now. We have this post here from Solid Intel. Bank of America says many banks are preparing to launch crypto stablecoin, which is a very, very big deal happening suddenly, all happening at once. And it's interesting as well that Tether, which has been kind of demeaned as going to fall outside the kind of framework because they aren't backed 100% by US dollar, initiatives, if you will. Apparently Tether are strategically re-entering the US market with a new distinct dollar peg stablecoin. So the USDT is not one-to-one pegged to the dollar, but they're releasing a new one that'll be tied to the tether that is backed 1-to-1 to the dollar as well. This move is a direct response to the recently enacted Genius Act signed into law by Trump. Tether CEO confirmed that the company is finalizing its US strategy and plans to make an announcement in the next few months. The stablecoin, separate from the initially internationally focused USDT, is slated for launch by late 2025, early 2026, and will specifically target institutional payments and interbank settlements within the United States. This initiative marks a significant step for Tether, which has largely been absent from the regulated US market due to the past regulatory hurdles, despite its current $162 billion market cap, which is insane. So Tether's expanding, which would be good. I mean, Tether is not going to be able to function in the United States, but their new stablecoin will be able to, which therefore may mean you see Tether's dominance stay up as well, which is good for Tether as well. And stablecoin again growing more and more banks getting more involved. BlackRock has also apparently just stated that de-dollarization is prompting central banks to diversify into other currencies and alternative assets like gold, and also beginning to consider Bitcoin and crypto. So again, de-dollarization is happening more and more. They're getting out of dollars and holding assets, holding currencies like Bitcoin, like crypto, like gold. So that is again a big deal, which is going to bring more capital into this space and therefore higher prices for crypto and Casper as well. And then we've got this video I want to play real quickly as well, where you got the $185 billion key bank that's now letting their 3.5 million clients buy and hold Bitcoin and crypto. Proof once more that TradFi is onboarding faster and faster, and more banks are opening the gate to crypto. Listen very closely here to this interview.
The Genius Act was just last week, but when you
around stablecoin and crypto, how are you feeling about getting in and using it as potentially a platform and option for your clients?
I mean, it's early, but I think it has a lot of promise, and particularly around stablecoin. And obviously, the Genius Act was just last week. But when you think about stablecoin, there's really a few things. There's the institutional piece, which will be the equivalent of like prime brokerage. That will be dominated by a single handful of international banks. The huge volume, relatively narrow margins. That's not really an opportunity or a challenge for us. The next is as a store of value, and clearly to the extent, Sarah, that our clients want it and they want to hold it in their wallets, we will accommodate that. And so we'll be sure to do that. Then there's the sort of discussion around, is it going to cannibalize deposits at banks? I actually think that's a fair, I think it's a threat, but I don't think it's an immediate threat. And I think the industry will respond. I mean, you know, whether it's with tokenized deposits, which I think you'll see banks like Key do, and you may well see, I don't envision Key issuing a coin per se, but I could see us as part of a consortium of banks that issues a coin. And then I think the two best applications are really international payments. Right now, international payments are sort of this Byzantine approach of, you know, all these correspondent banks. It takes a long time. There's a lot of friction. I think stable coins could be a really good solution for our clients. It could be faster, cheaper, better.
So, again, once more, a big sign, more big TradFi companies getting involved in this space. And this, of course, is going to bring more capital into the markets, into Bitcoin, cycling into the altcoins, and that will inevitably start cycling into Casper as well. While not all of these, not a lot of people tend to care about the fundamentals, and I do get why you want to see just Casper announcements. I cover fundamentals in this community, and of course in a lot more detail on my VIP. But I cover in the community because they are still inherently extremely important. Very important. The fundamentals have a direct impact on the whole of the crypto market, which does inherently affect Casper as well. Especially if you're thinking about banks, for example. Again, think back 2 days ago to the KII video I made, which that video explicitly mentions from Rory O'Neill that Warp Core's almost done, it's ISO compliant, they've tested with Swift, and therefore Casper in the near future will be able to be connected to banks, in the back end of banks. So this stuff actually can, not in the immediate future, but in the not too distant future, actually be impactful for Casper as well. So again, the short-term price action, while important and while we do look at it and we want it to do well, and that's why we talk about it, we also try to look at the long-term as well, understand not to be emotional, be logical, and understand these developments take time to really muster and form, but we're seeing it accelerate now. getting more involved into the space, more big banks getting involved, and Kaspa again starting to grow more and more. Kaspa's not another altcoin, it's not a token, it's not an S coin, it is the purest, most sophisticated, practical, and robust implementation of Satoshi Nakamoto's vision that's available in the market. It is not necessarily going to make Bitcoin obsolete, but rather the next generation of multi-purpose, fast, secure, decentralized, scalable cryptos without frontiers. It is the best narrative for those based in tangible achievements. Kaspa is second to none. And all these developments here are going to spike up more. You're going to see listings coming through inevitably, smart contracts coming on board. You may start seeing stables in this cycle as well, or in the future, definitely in the cycle, most likely as well, in my belief. You'll end up seeing smart contracts again, not far off now. Like, there's so much more to come to Kaspa. And again, if you think about what we saw just a few days back with the announcement of smart contracts, there's a good possibility we could see even more FOMO and price action with smart contracts as they get closer and closer to being launched. So it's interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Or you can inscribe domains through currency wallet. Okay, well there, Lao's got the idea. So yeah, if you want any help Buffalo with that, then reach out to Lao. I think he's already in the Discord stuff. You can ask him through there. I'm sure he'll be happy to help, and he can, get yourself if you want to get yourself a KNS domain as well. I've noticed QuickCrypt doesn't read my comments aloud like it does for everybody else. It's almost like he doesn't trust me and what I'm going to say. Completely right, I don't. They don't consider XRP or ETH a threat anymore, but at one point in history they did. Now the projects they're worried about is Kaspa, and its market cap is so much smaller than those were. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't consider them a threat anymore. Definitely not anymore. They did at one point. I know ETH was a big deal for them. XRP, I think, still a little bit of a lingering threat for them right now, but it was a lot worse when it was like first originally founded. And they've been around for a long time. Like ETH was, early 2010s. XRP is similar as well. Technically speaking, Ripple's been around longer than Bitcoin's been about, actually. So Ripple, the company, is actually older than Bitcoin. But Kaspa is 3 years old as a launch project, and the tech behind it is quite old, very old. But its market cap's also only 2-3 billion. It's tiny. The volume's doing very well actually. 165 million volume, fantastic for Kaspa actually. Again, Gate being the highest, then Mexi, then BitGet. But Kaspa's a threat. Imagine saying that Kaspa's a threat to Bitcoin at 2 bill market cap, when Bitcoin's at what, a 2 point something trillion? 2.6 bill for Kaspa compared to a 2.3 trillion. Like, Bitcoin is literally 1,000 times bigger than Kaspa, and Bitcoin maxis are perceiving it as a threat and having a go at it. For me, it's interesting, very promising indeed. Yeah. Welcome back, Packard bro. You're doing very well. Welcome back to the streamer, man. Can I resume important things? Please just come on now. And soon come, I'm sure. Soon come, I'm sure. Can you check power law with Kaspa, please? I don't particularly check the power law. I've not checked it in a very long time. I don't think the power law is something I really care too much about Kaspa anymore. I've got to check out my community to find out the rainbow chart. So I'll go through my community real quick because it's saved in the community already. So I can go through their useful websites. There you go. I should go to the other one as well, the rainbow chart. So power law right now, Kaspa's still 67% undervalued, apparently, according to this calculator. Fair value should be 30 cents right now. Support should be 23, not at 10. And that is the graph right now. It's been underneath for quite some time. It did, manage to make a momentary regain back into it around May. When it went back up again in May. But again, the power law shifts continuously. But maybe it'll regain and go back into it in the coming, month or two, I'd hope. We'll have to wait and see, brother. I'll have to wait and see, indeed. The market cap of the medium of exchange US dollar is 40,000. Okay, so that is I'm trying to do the math in my head for trillions. It's $40,298 billion, which is like 40 trillion. That sounds right. So I mean, yeah, So I'm trying to remember what your question was. So the market cap at the medium exchange US dollars is 40 trillion or 40,000 billion. So your question was compare that to Bitcoin and gold. Oh, I mean, yeah, Bitcoin and gold is a lot higher. Therefore, I mean, gold's also around. I think gold is around 20 trillion right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 20 trillion. So let me type that in. Market cap of gold. I can't just type market cap. Sorry, I tried to do MC gold and it just didn't work. Yeah, 23 trillion. So, yeah, gold is half of the dollar right now, and that's going to continuing to rally up more and more, especially if de-dollarization is happening right now. Dollar falls off more and more. Of course, stablecoins will save that, but gold will kind of go up and rally more and more, and Bitcoin again will start getting a lot more adoption as well. What about the question right now? I'm out here. M2 is considered to be the MC of liquid fiat. Okay, yeah. Kaspa will be the stablecoin hub. People in Africa will be buying ghost stablecoins on the Kaspa network. That would be a sign to see. Not a joke. I heard a Bitcoin maxi say that Kaspa embracing Bitcoin's ethos is a piggyback scam. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, truthfully. I'm really not. Bitcoin maxis will say what they can to support their own beliefs. It's what you do, you know, when you're on maximalist, you die on the hill that you're on. And not just in Bitcoin, in any community. XRP Max is equally a dime. We actually saw a post recently today. Apparently, the co-founder, Chris Larson, sold like 50 million XRP at the top recently. Up here. And, you know, that's again, like, he's a co-founder. He has allocated XRP and he's selling it to exchanges. So, like, but even then, still, XRP Maxis will still, you know, be like, oh, XRP is going to be massive because of all these partnerships. And I still believe it'll do well. You know, I hold it. I do think it'll do well. But what Chris Larson just did is another reason why I'm not aping all in on XRP. Because I do see the possibility that these insiders, these employees, these founders can just dump it all on retail if they choose to. And then just go a full pivot pretty much to RUSD, to the stablecoin strategy instead. It wouldn't surprise me if that's a possibility. I know they use XRP as their gas fee for their XRP ledger and RUSD on the XRP ledger, therefore XRP is burnt. But if they use RUSD outside of the XRP ledger, then where's XRP's use case? Bitcoin masses will be crushed if they found out some for Satoshi. Oh, I'm sure they would be. KII, kill all stake. Or Kaspa, sorry. Kaspa. Yeah, Kaspa is kill all stake. Honestly, yeah, not a bad is that analogy, I think the word for it, or abbreviation. The exchange manipulation broke the power. Yeah, I mean, predominantly Mexi as well definitely did cause a shift away from the power law. But again, I think Kaspa can be again at the cycle. I'm not too worried about it. Stop saying math, it's math. Stop saying not, it's naught, it's zero. Stop saying Z, it's... I don't say Z anymore, actually. Because you keep bullying me about Z, I say Z now. Well, it depends, actually, in the context. If I'm saying the KRI is ZETEX, I don't say ZETEX anymore. I say Z. I don't know any other time I say Z, but I don't know. Maths and math is... I don't understand, like... And then naught and zero, like... No, I'm going to say naught. My point is the market cap of Amiga Exchange of one fiat currency is bigger than both store values combined. Right. Okay. Now I'm on the same wavelength as you now, Kryptona. Yeah. Well, in that regard, then yes, I completely understand your point. Your point being is Kaspa can surpass Bitcoin because if dollars has a much higher market cap than Bitcoin does, and gold does combined, and their only store of values, then evidently there's more use case and more, you know, market cap and more value in something that's a medium exchange as well. So Kaspa, which could be store of value, also could be a medium exchange, therefore would have a higher value. Now, how long that will take is, again, anybody's guess, but it's a possibility because Kaspa has the use case. The maths ain't mathing, exactly. Marv, the American, is coming for you with Eagles. Oh yeah, I'm sure. He'll get back in the basement very, very soon as well. You said Z or ZK rollups. Oh, ZK rollups. ZK rollup sounds so weird to me. ZK rollup doesn't sound right. ZK rollup sounds fine to me. I'll say ZTX, but ZX exchange just or ZX rollup just sounds weird to me. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just too British. Maybe I'm too British for that one. I'll accept ZTX, but not ZX exchange. ZX rollups. That sounds just no. Just no. We're going to disagree on that one, unfortunately, Mr. Miles. You can keep crying about that one, but I'm going to die on that hill. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Oh, that much I can agree with. It is Z. That's real English. Yeah, that's how the Brits will raise Z, but Mr. Miles is adamant that American's the only English that matters, so it's Z. Oh, yay, I got another scam post. Let me block that real quickly. If I can let me copy the actual post at least. Oh, yeah, just copy that. I love it when that happens. You know what? The fact that they're coming to the live stream and doing it is actually, you know, fair. In the comments is one thing. In the live stream, wow. Bots actively coming into my chat to scam. It's crazy. Alright, well, that's blocked now. Honestly, I prefer them doing it in the live stream because it makes it easier for me to block it in real time as opposed to me, you know, having to leaving my channel for a day, coming back and I've just seen a whole flow of bot comments. Just say zero knowledge. Or should I say zero knowledge for Mr. Miles? Not zero knowledge, zero knowledge. I should say, yeah, zero knowledge. I can say that, but that's also like zero. I'm lazy. I'll be honest. I can be lazy. Zero knowledge or ZK. You know? Casey is a bot. Yeah, fully aware. The term has been banned. I should just ban Casey, to be honest. Someone quick dump the tea in the harbour. That'll teach them. Oh, you're going to make a Brit angry. You don't want to see a Brit when they're angry. Well, there you go, Big Horn. Exactly. We can agree. It is Z. There you go. Kaspa, King as Sompolinsky. Not as good, DD, but I'll still respect it. I'll still respect it. But that being said, though, if only you'd give me power I deserve, where's my wrench? We'll talk. We'll talk in August. Because I've got a lot to get done the rest of this month. I'm going to be very chock-a-blocked for the rest of this July. I'm also going to be doing these streams for the next 2 days a lot earlier than usual. So you may not even be here. So ha. If you're watching on playback. But yeah, I'll be talking about it in August. And also some others as well who I deem worthwhile. I promise not to remove all comments from my first. Yeah, that I'm actually scared of. I'm not going to lie. Kappa TA, please. I'll do a very brief one now, although truth be told, Shane, you can actually watch the short I just posted on my channel, which does give some TA stuff here as well. Like this short here in particular does give a TA breakdown. It was from 2 days ago, but it's still prevalent to what's happening right now as well. TA right now, Kaspa lost 11 cents because of the whole stuff happening with Japan and the bad trade deal and the FUD as well, but it's still holding above 10 cents right now. If you can finish today above 10 cents, that'd be very, very good. Hopefully, of course, there could be more downside with tariff and FUD coming back up again. Need some more trade deals coming through. I'm hoping that Kaspa right now is going to be falling that higher high with the higher low. Therefore, Kaspa going to be breaking above 13 cents to 15 cents soon enough. If not, you may see Kaspa start trading between here for the next coming days or weeks or whatever until it makes a definitive move following smart contracts. I suspect Kaspa right now will probably hold 10 cents. Worst case, come back down to 9 cents. Personal belief, not financial advice. And then after that, we'll see. Hopefully, therefore, Kaspa will find absolute support at 9 cents around here. It won't go lower than here. So it'll come down here, hopefully stay here, trade. If it doesn't, worst case, come down here, my belief, unless we get a black swan. And then we'll see Kaspa make the recovery again and start going up again. We'll have to wait and see it again. Anything can happen. You've got to pay attention to the macro news, the fundamental, the durable goods report tomorrow will be very important. All that sort of stuff, you know the deal. That being said, have a good one as always, definitely. Mr. Miles, challenge accepted. Yeah, Lord help me. Have a great day, good evening, good night. People in my family, if you enjoy the stream, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. Check out the free Discord server to learn even more about crypto and Kaspa, and the VIP as well to be even more locked in. That being said, I'll be back tomorrow a lot earlier. I'll make an announcement on my Discord server. Have a great day, good evening, good night, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now, people.